Welcome to this hands-on lab on building a recommendation system using Amazon SageMaker's built-in factorization machines algorithm. In this lab, we will start by generating synthetic user-item interaction data, then train a recommendation model using a SageMaker training job, and finally deploy the trained model to a real-time endpoint to generate personalized recommendations. Navigate to the Amazon SageMaker AI console. From the left navigation pane, select SageMaker Studio. SageMaker Studio runs inside a SageMaker domain, and since no domain exists in this account, the console prompts you to create one. Click Create SageMaker Domain to begin the setup. For this exercise, choose Setup for Single User. While SageMaker also supports organization-wide domains, the single user option is faster to provision and is sufficient for hands-on labs. This option is selected by default. Click Setup to start the domain creation process. During this step, you may also see a short informational video about Amazon SageMaker AI. Once ready, continue to the next step to complete the domain configuration. Before proceeding further, it's important to note that SageMaker domains are not free. Any resources created inside the domain, such as notebooks, spaces, or endpoints, will incur charges. To avoid permission-related errors later, update the user profile associated with this domain. Ensure that the selected user profile uses an IAM role with access permissions to the Amazon S3 bucket that will be used in this exercise. This prevents failures when uploading synthetic data to S3. Modify the user profile and confirm that the attached IAM role includes the required S3 access policy. Once verified, return to the SageMaker console and create a JupyterLab space. Provide a meaningful name for the space. The default settings are sufficient for this lab, so no additional customization is required. Start the space. A SageMaker space is a self-contained workspace within a Studio domain. It includes dedicated compute resources, storage, pre-installed tools such as JupyterLab, and its own IAM and network configuration. In simple terms, it functions like a project folder bundled with its own compute environment and applications. Inside JupyterLab, create a new notebook and rename it to reflect the purpose of this exercise. Begin writing the code for the recommendation system. Install the required Python libraries. Any previous markdown sections shown in the notebook are for documentation only and have already been completed. Next, generate 1000 synthetic user item interaction records. This code randomly assigns users and items and produces a sparse interaction signal, where most interactions are 0 and only a small number are positive. The resulting dataset is saved as a CSV file and will be used for training the recommendation model. Review the generated output. Each record contains a user ID, an item ID, and a binary interaction value, where 0 indicates no interaction. To prepare this data for factorization machines, convert it into a sparse matrix format. Load the dataset and map user IDs and item IDs to numeric indices. Create mapping dictionaries for users and items, add these mapped values to the dataset, and compute the total number of unique users and items. Then, build the sparse feature matrix where each row represents a user-item pair with one-hot encoded features. Convert both the feature matrix and the target labels to float 32, which is required by SageMaker's Factorization Machines algorithm. Failing to convert either the features or labels to float 32 will cause the training job to fail with a data type error. Next, convert the dataset into RecordIO-Protobuf format, as this format is required by the built-in FM algorithm. Split the data into training and test sets, convert the sparse matrices into RecordIO, and upload both datasets to Amazon S3. Now configure the Factorization Machines estimator. Retrieve the built-in FM algorithm image, specify the IM role, training instance type, and S3 output location, and define key hyperparameters such as feature dimensions, binary classification mode, number of epochs, batch size, and latent factors. Once configured, start the training job by pointing the estimator to the training and test data stored in S3. You can verify where the training and test datasets are stored in Amazon S3. After training completes, deploy the model to a real-time SageMaker endpoint. This makes the model available for live inference. Return to the SageMaker AI console and monitor the endpoint status. Initially, the endpoint will be in the creating state. Once provisioning is complete, the status changes to in service, indicating that the endpoint is ready to accept inference requests. Generate recommendations by sending user item pairs to the deployed endpoint. This code invokes the endpoint, safely parses the response, and stores the inference results as a timestamped JSON file in Amazon S3 for auditing or analysis. Review the output JSON. It contains the endpoint name, the UTC timestamp of the request, and a list of predictions. Each prediction corresponds to one input row from the RecordIO payload. Because the payload includes many rows, the response contains many predictions. Each prediction includes a score and a predicted underscore label. The score represents the model's estimated probability of a positive interaction. For example, a score of 0.30 indicates roughly a 30% likelihood of interaction. The predicted label is derived using a default threshold, typically 0.5. Since all scores in this output fall below 0.5, all predicted labels are 0. This behavior is common in synthetic or early-stage labs and does not indicate an error. In recommendation systems, the score is what matters. Items are ranked by score, and the top and highest scoring items are recommended for each user. A practical next step is to generate inference requests for one user across many items and sort the results by score. This concludes the exercise. To avoid unnecessary billing, delete all resources created during this lab. Delete the deployed model endpoint. Delete the JupyterLab space, and then delete the SageMaker domain. Once the domain deletion completes, all associated resources are fully removed.